happy almost Halloween. I want to get my Halloween tutorial out this week, so if you wanted to try the look, you can. I was playing around with the idea of kind of iconic blondes. I wanted to do something iconic, and then it hit me, it's like, the idea is in the name, iconic. So iconic, see what I did there? Cheesy, I know. So I wanted to do something around the eye, and but I kind of wanted to keep it quite subtle, so I wanted to be pretty. All of us want to be pretty or vintage or, you know, sexy on Halloween, but with a little bit of something. So I went searching for different types of eye tutorials. I'm a makeup artist, but I'm not a special effects makeup artist. So I always find inspiration in other people's special effect makeups. And I found this lovely makeup artist. She is, I think, Norwegian. And I'll put a link to her video below. And I loved her kind of like the skin of the eye ripped down bloody eye tutorial. I changed it a little bit. I'm pretty much using stuff you all have, like lash glue, the red in my eyes, actually MAC's Russian red, stuff like that. So you don't need a specialist palette for it. The only thing that is kind of specialist is actually the blood. But the idea is that it looks like the skin on my eye has been kind of ripped down, and it's kind of just here onto my finger and exposing the flesh underneath. Ooh, nice. I think it's more subtle than last year, actually. Anyways, I'll show you how I did my hair as well. Kind of like very, very, very classic Hollywood if you've got short hair. And yeah, I'm just gonna get started. I am showing you how to do the eye makeup, kind of like the top of the eye as well. If you're not interested in that, just kind of fast forward and go to the gory parts. But yeah, let's get started. I'm priming my eyelid. I'm going to show you the eye makeup on the eye that we're going to do the bloody eye on, and then the other one is just going to magically happen. I am using the Lumene, what is this called? Beauty Base eyeshadow. And this is going to be a really classic Hollywood eye. I'm using the Lorac Pro palette, the second one. So I'm going to put Buff with a MAC 227 all over the eyelid, quite a lot of it. You know, like normal, I mean, Buff is a cream, matte cream color. You don't need to use the same eyeshadow palette as I am, just basically kind of similar textures, I guess. Then I'm going to put a little bit of Snow, which is a very white, kind of a highlight shadow, and I'm going to put it under the eyebrow. I'm using a Louise Young number 18 brush, just a very small brush, and I'm just doing this to create a highlight under the eyebrow. Nectar is kind of like a peachy color, and I'm using a MAC 127 to do the crease, and don't go too far down, so just kind of like the crease, slightly above the crease, and banana motion it through. I'm just going to keep using the same brush, and I'm going to take Cool Grey. These are all matte, apart from the highlight shade, all matte shades. And if you look straight on, do a kind of like a little mark where you're going to want your, maybe a little bit more than that, little faint mark, so that you can still see kind of like where that color is going when your eyes are open, and then just start blending it. Don't go all the way to the inner corner this time. So when you're looking straight on, especially important for us hooded eye girls, is you can see a little bit of the shadow. I'm going to then switch brushes. I'm using a MAC, and the number has worn off, I'll check what it is. Kind of like a fluffy angle brush, and I'm going to take the black, and we're kind of, I'll show you how little color I'm putting on this. So it's just on the very tip, and I'm going to put that in the outer corner and just be quite precise about it, and kind of like just blend it. This is a little bit of a cut crease look, not, you know, not 100%, I would say. And then once you have the placement, pick up your 217 and then kind of like just blend the edges out again. I'm lining my eyes. I'm using the Lumene if you're from Finland. Miracle liner. I am absolutely in love with this liner. Has such a long tip. I'm actually winging it out quite low so I don't have to do all the kind of hooded eye corrections. I'm being lazy. Mascara, but only on the top lashes. We don't need to do the bottom lashes for obvious reasons. And this is, oh my god, I love this. This is Black Ecstasy by Armani, but I don't know what the actual name of this. It's the new one with the red little thing there. I love this mascara. 2 coats and you get insane lashes. Because mine are right now with I had the LVL treatment, I'm not going to put on any fake lashes. If I hadn't had that, I probably would. And on the eye that I'm not doing the bloody eye on, I'm going to put Rimmel Scandalous pencil. What's the color called? It's the nude one. Well, it's called nude. Just to kind of accentuate the fact that this eye is all non-bloody. So I'm just running it on my waterline. For eyebrows, I'm using Laura Mercier's Brow Definer in Soft. One of my all-time absolute favorite brow products. If not the favorite. It's a wax, but it actually packs a punch when it comes to color. And I'm gonna do them, I don't know, kind of defined, with a bit of an arch, Hollywood brow. This eye, I always need to lift the arch a little bit because there isn't as much of an arch. Okay, we're good to start with the Gore. So this kind of fake flap that we're going to do, I'm going to use the Eyelure Lashfix. It's just a normal strip adhesive with latex in it. The reason why I'm using this one, it has a great like ready built wand. So I am putting the latex, well, this is not latex, the eyelash glue under my eye. I'm gonna go all the way to the inner corner, put a good layer on because it needs to kind of withstand you pulling on it. I'm gonna curl my hair while all of this is drying. I don't know how long it's gonna take. Tried it yesterday, maybe it took about 10-15 minutes because there is quite a big layer on it. So yeah, when I come back I'm gonna have little curls. Actually, why don't I just pull back and show you? In my hair I have Shuamura's Satin Design Polishing Milk and also a little bit of Oribe Dry Texturizing because my hair was clean. And I just like really rough dried it, and I'm using a small barrel wand. I don't know what this is, it's like almost less than an inch I think. And I am going to, because, hold on, this way, I'm curling it towards my face. I've got a short hair. If you've got long hair, you know, you might do kind of a different type of pattern. And I'm just gonna curl towards the face, away from the face, and the same thing kind of on the other side. On the other side I've got more room, so it'll be towards the face, away from the face, and towards the face. And I'm just gonna leave these to cool down. So I'm gonna have funny little curls for a bit, and then we're gonna brush them out. So I'm just spraying all this beauty and we can get back to the eye. So as you can see, we're pretty much almost dry. It's quite tacky, so I'm gonna take some e.l.f. HD powder, just loose powder, with a Real Techniques brush, and I'm gonna brush it over because, you know, you want to be able to work with it without getting stuck on it the whole time. And then I'm also going to put some concealer on top. I'm using the Kat Von D Lock-it concealer because this conceals everything, and Lock-it Tattoo concealer, and my shade is in medium 28. A little bit on the back of my hand. And I am taking, this is the Real Techniques, what is it? Pointed foundation brush. For stuff like, you know, Halloween-y things, don't use your most expensive brushes. I'm sure that goes without saying, but cover all of that up. A little bit more powder on top. Right, so here comes the fun part. Fun part, but also, I don't know, I don't like pulling on the skin around my eyes. I'm freaked out that it's going to give me lots of wrinkles. But I guess if you do it like once a year, it's okay. So how I start it is I put one finger here and I start pulling. I want to get like a starting point. I also have tweezers with me. So you want to be able to kind of pull the skin out a little bit. I've got like a nice little bit there. I hope you can see this. So I can really kind of start pulling it away from my skin. It's very flexible lash glue, so don't worry too much about ripping it. And you kind of create like a little pocket under your eyes. There we go, that already looks kind of gruesome. It's hanging in a nice kind of way. Oh god, I really need to do an eye mask after this. I'm really worried that that just caused like tons of new eye wrinkles. Okay, anyway, moving on. Like I said, I'm going to use stuff that most people have. So I'm going to use Russian Red by MAC, and I'm just taking a, what number this is? It's a tiny MAC brush, and I'm just kind of taking a little bit of the lipstick and doing the inside of that flap. So I'm going all the way to the lash line, kind of into the lash line really. If you want to be careful not to get it into your waterline, please do. Because I'm used to having loads of makeup there, I'm not too worried. And then just kind of do all of it and get it under that flap area too. Kind of pull the flap away so that you get your brush right in there. God, it's getting my nerves. Then I'm going to take a little bit of a color tattoo. This one is, what is it called? Matte brown. And I am going to use that matte brown and go more into kind of like the deeper parts here. Not going to go all the way to the eye, but really concentrating on those deep parts and adding a little bit more Russian Red on top. Kind of inside of the skin, so to speak, because you want the flap on the inside to have some red as well. Cool. We're gonna make it even darker, so I'm just gonna take Black Truck by MAC. I'm gonna switch to a slightly smaller brush. Actually, I might use the eyebrow brush I used before, because that's kind of teeny. And again, pulling it out and just really get it deep in there. This is kind of to create more like of a trauma look. And edge it, like edge it over there as well. Just all the way to the inner corner of the eye as well. Yeah. And then the fun part, the blood. So this is the only thing that you kind of might have to get from a pro shop. Mine is bloody, thick, gloopy blood. So the blood is kind of like really, really gloopy. So kind of get it on your brush and then just start applying it inside. I like a lot of blood because that's just the way I am. Not everyone does. And then I kind of spackle it all over. But I really like to put good amount in there because the shine of the blood is kind of what makes it look a little bit more authentic. And then also kind of like I'm pulling it onto the edge of that skin, that fake skin flap that we created, so that it's kind of like on that as well. Lovely. God, I should have been a special effects makeup artist. I really like doing kind of bloody things. So I really like the idea that this skin flap kind of folds over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit more of my latex glue and I'm going to pop it under here. Could have done with a little bit less. Let's take a Q-tip. God, that applicator really is not the best. Wait for it to get tacky, just like with eyelashes. And then we're going to glue it down. Okay, so just with my tweezers, I'm going to take that eye flap and attempt to glue it down just there. I'm going to hold it for a bit so that it kind of sticks on. I'll probably end up just gluing these tweezers as well to it, but hey ho. I'm just going to quickly add some foundation, not exactly near that, we already have concealer there. I'm going to use my new favorite foundation, the Marc Jacobs, what is this called? Marvellous Mousse, and I am a 34 beige medium. And let's see, come on, where are you? My trusty Real Techniques. I'm going to be careful in not going around the wound. I don't like to put on the foundation before, because I'm always afraid that there's going to be too much like grease around and the kind of artwork just won't stick. I'm also going to add some YSL Touche Éclat under the other eye. This is kind of, I want to keep this eye as light as possible, just to counteract the other one. I'm just going to use my fingers. Little bit of blush. This is Bare Minerals in Glee. I've rediscovered this blush. I think it was on my list of products to use up, and now I love it. And now I don't really want to use it up. I'm using a Bobbi Brown blush brush, and again I'm going to do it only on the free cheek. This cheek needs nothing. Tiny bit of powder. I'm going to use the same e.l.f. powder that we used before. And then since it's a Hollywood look, I'm going to do red lips. So I'm going to use the MAC Trust in Red Pro Longwear Lip Liner. And I'm going to use the same Russian red as we did for the eye, just to save time. Actually, I'm not going to use the same one because this is too bright. I think I'm just going to do, maybe I'll just do eyeliner lips. Not eyeliner, lip liner lips. And then I'm going to brush these weird curls out. So I'm going to brush them out, but then I'm going to kind of form them again. I'm going to take a little bit of that, what was this called? Satin Design on my hands. And then we're gonna kind of reform them because I want them to be shiny. So what I'm gonna do is brush forwards, whoop, brush forwards, and then brush back. Yeah, it does accentuate the eye thing. Let's see. Now here is a trick to really kind of make the fold stand out. Take a Q-tip and just wet it. Because I'm doing it on my own face, and that where the fold is. Take the blood just off that, so you kind of like the skin fold shows a little bit more. But anyways, let me know what you're going as for Halloween. If you try this out, let me know how it goes. And yeah, happy Halloween, everybody. Well, it's not obviously this Friday, but I figured I'd do it this week. So if you do want to do this, you've got time to practice. Thanks for watching. Bye.